in charge of learning. This is through the monitoring and evaluation department. We do implement our projects through our partners, but one thing that we pride ourselves a lot is in our ability of learning and utilizing that learning.
We would like to share our story with you because we feel like we have a lot of learning that we've done, through what my colleague has said, and that learning sometimes is not shared. That learning is kept internally and even to the individual at times.
We are looking at mindset change. Mindset change in two ways. Mindset change to those that need the help, and mindset change to those that are giving the help. In other words, you do with them, not you do for them.
And so one thing that I would encourage our viewers to wait to see is what we have learned through our project implementations. We have projects in agriculture, we have projects in health, we do disaster response, in different kinds of disasters. And again, we do a lot of economic empowerment.
I would like to inform our viewers, our communities, and the world that keep watching and just to learn about what World Renew does. World Renew does many amazing things, reaching out to the community, sharing resources that the Lord has given us, and also, alleviating poverty.
So if we can reach out and if we can share, because I believe by sharing, learning, we all learn. And development is about learning, it's about relearning and also unlearning. So if we can learn new things and by sharing, and others can learn from us, then that would make an impact so that others also don't repeat the same mistakes that we do. At the same time, we are also open to learning from others, so it's a mutual give and take.
We have learned what works. We have learned how to interact with the community and how to ensure that the community understands some of the issues that they go through and how they can plan for these issues in the future and how the solutions come from them. So our learning will be out there for the sake of other people who are not directly benefiting from us, for programming reasons, but also for community members in different parts of the country to be able to utilize that learning indirectly to improve their different situations.
So reach out, learn more about World Renew, what we do, and we are eager just to reach out to you for the kingdom of God.
Welcome to the Hope Story with World Renew Kenya. World Renew, living justice, loving mercy, serving Christ.
My name is Stefan Lutz. I'm a senior program consultant with World Renew Kenya, working in Kenya. And World Renew is the relief and development arm of the Christian Reformed Church of North America. We're binational, so we work both in Canada and the US. And we've been working in Kenya for about 40 years. And our motto here just to be brief, our motto here as World Renew and around the world is to work through partnerships. So in Kenya, we work through the Anglican Development Services, and that is the relief and development of the local Anglican Church here in Kenya, and in several thematic areas, from agriculture to livelihoods. We do village savings and loans. We do health programming, maternal child health programming, but we also do relief and rehabilitation. So when there is a disaster, as we have experienced recently with flooding here in Kenya, or when there is any other drought, because we're experiencing a climate change and the extreme weather There, we come in and offer the necessary relief, and then we try to bridge that to a rehabilitation and also to longer-term development. Our goal ultimate is longer-term development. We want to see people with a dignified living. We want to see people take on the development on their own, and just to see sustainability, to see that whatever we do, if we ever were to leave, and for the local church as well and the local ADS, that they will continue with the work. So it's very important for us.
It is clear that our main way of working is through partners, right? We do not implement projects, but we form relationships or partnerships, and those are the ones that we use getting to the community. In Kenya, we have one location that we are attempting or are trying to see how direct implementation works for learning reasons, not for many reasons, but for learning reasons, to know how that could go if that was a direction that World Renew would take. As we work through partners, we recognize that we cannot have World Renew staff in the partner organizations, but we are tasked with making sure that the partner capacity improves or is at a level where we can channel in resources, time, funding. We can contractually agree in how we will reach that community. So we put in effort in building that capacity of the partner. So World Renew's history, we have always been attracted to not the very big organizations, but local or national organizations that we can directly work with to be able to reach the community. So many times the characteristics of these organizations, especially as we begin, may mean that many systems and structures may not be in place, right? And so we task ourselves with the job to make sure that these systems and structures are in place for them to be able to implement the projects that we want to implement. I will give an example of ETOP. I think ETOP said that they are a CBO, but they are present here today. We may not have a partnership agreement with ETOP yet, but we are grooming and nurturing ETOP to get to a level where we can begin partnering with them and they can begin implementing activities in Turkana. And this ETOP represents many other organizations that may come up in the future. And then the last bit is on the community engagement. So community engagement, of course, that becomes our larger result. Our larger result is, to see transformation, to see people living in dignified ways. And how do we do that? By addressing issues that are faced through social injustices, issues that are based out of vulnerabilities, different vulnerabilities, whether it is economical, whether it is through calamities, but then we are interested in engaging the community through our partners to see that these issues can be resolved. This World Renew Kenya, this is us. We have been talking about ourselves since morning. But what are we doing to ensure that we get to the larger impact that we want in that community? What do we do to ensure that we are able to witness food security, we are able to witness health changes and the like? What do we do with our staff? What do we do with ourselves? What do we do as an organization? One, our senior country director mentioned that we are really blessed to have staff that are really, really well trained. And training may not always mean academic. It could be through experience, it could be through exposure, it could be through trainings, it could be through mentorship and coaching. We are really keen on that, and we attach resources to the same. Because of the kind of work that is expected of this same staff, we put aside resources to address the capacity need, but at the same time, we make an effort to make sure that staff also agree and understand why this growth is necessary. We have staff training in many different areas. This is pegged on performance and on supervisory reasons. The other thing that we are keen on is on how robust our management or our supervision of staff is. So besides the normal expectation, we attempt to have very supportive supervision. Supportive supervision in ways that staff are accompanied, they are coached, they are mentored. We have opportunities to share our morale every month with our, well, let me say every month, but sometimes it's not, it doesn't happen as often as it should be. But monthly, our policies say that monthly we share our morale. So we are interested in staff. We are not just keen on your performance, but are you okay? Is your family fine? What is disturbing you, and how can I be of use to your motivation and to your morale? And so that has been very good, because we have created a very open culture where staff feel free to say what they're going through. We pray for one another, and so that has been quite useful. We have very regular staff meetings and program meetings that act as both communication but also as learning platforms for replication reasons, but also for support from one another. So we have, since 2018, we have really put in some good work in creating a culture that we really pride ourselves in right now. And I think to maintain objectivity, I will probably call someone out to talk about culture in a very experiential way, in the different culture aspects, experientially maybe, and give examples of what we do under different areas of culture.
Under welfare, we have the prayer and care, of which we have prayer partners. In December, we usually have Christmas party, gathering, and Thanksgiving. So during that time, we select our prayer partners, of which it's usually like a secret ballot. So one picks, and then the name that will be written there is the person who will be your prayer partner for the whole year. So with the prayer partners, we have that relationship that you will know one another. Initially, it was like a secret, but nowadays you know each other. You can reach out to one another. You can ask what Naomi had earlier mentioned, that how they are doing, how their family is, what support they need, what kind of a prayer would they want for you to pray for them. So such kind of thing. And then we also have spiritual retreats. We usually have spiritual retreats like quarterly, and we have one that takes about actually 3 days. And then we have the short one that is only 1 day, where we retreat. The main purpose is just prayer, prayer. So we have it quarterly. And then we also have a Christmas party, as I mentioned. So during the Christmas party, and during the Christmas party with our prayer partners, we also have, we give to one another during that same day. So if Naomi is my prayer, Naomi is my prayer partner. Yeah. Yeah, so I buy a gift for Naomi, I could ask her what she wants, or it could be maybe a surprise. But in between, it's not just about the gift. It's not just about, knowing that she's my prayer partner, but also praying for that person. So we usually do that, and we gift one another that prayer partner. During that time, we go out as the welfare team to retreat, to pray together, and also to evaluate ourselves. What is it that we did well? What is it that we need to improve? So in spiritual formation, we have a church-to-church partnership that I coordinate. There is a truth-centered transformation. There is a healing hearts transforming nations.
Healing Hearts Transforming Nations is an approach we use together with the Way of Peace, WAPE, in actually addressing the conflict situations. It can be within oneself, it can be within the family, it can be within the community, it can be within the church. It's a very good approach because it addresses the issues of the heart. And many things which actually happens, they emanate from the heart. When you are hurting, when you are wounded, you cannot be able to produce and to be productive. Actually, we are negotiating that this Healing Hearts Transforming Nation can be an approach also which can be used as PLA, because when you address the issue of the heart, people are also able to work well, even as a personal level, when you are healed, and many people are suffering. So what we do, it's a process. It's a Bible-based process whereby we go through the Bible and practical experiences, and people are able to reconcile within themselves, with others, with God, and with the environment. So thank you.
World Renew as a whole partners with churches at the Anglican Church of Kenya. But in this aspect, we train churches, and we also partner some of these spiritual processes, like helping without hurting in Africa. We partner with Resonate Global.
So helping without hurting is, I'm going to show off a little bit. It's based off a book that my husband wrote with 2 other people. Thank you for asking me to speak about it. Yeah, and it's implemented by our sister agency called Resonate Global Mission. So it's a training that they do. It's for donors, it's for us development workers, it's for churches, and basically it's meant to challenge how we implement so that we do not cause dependency, that we do not take away people's dignity, that we do not replace their ability to do what they should do for themselves, and that as we do all those things, that we are actually helping them to think about their own being. We're talking with Bishop about poverty, that poverty is of spiritual being, but also of relationships. So thinking about the whole of humankind and how transformation can be affected by how we help, either by hurting or by creating abilities in people.
My name is Johnny Kaviswa. I work with an organization called Resonate Global Mission, and part of what I do is I train helping without hurting approach. It's a Christian development approach that teaches holistic approach on how to help wisely, help the poor wisely, but also address issues of poverty in a sustainable way, and also ensuring that in the process of helping, you don't hurt the person you're helping, and you don't hurt yourself as you help. In many cases, when you look at many organizations, you find that they have good intentions in the process of helping. But the approach they use to help is where, in most cases, the problem is. It's where you find them hurting the people they are helping, or even hurting themselves, those who are helping. Amazing. So this approach we are using, helping without hurting in Africa, is to just remind us of what is it that we need to do in the process of doing development, in the process of helping those in need, so that as we help, we are reminded and also remind them that they are still created in the image of God. We work with them in a way that also promotes their confidence, their dignity, and also respect for them. The people we are looking up to is mainly we look at leaders and influencers.
Okay.
And why? Because we are looking at mindset change. Mindset change in two ways. Mindset change to those that need the help, and mindset change to those that are giving the help. Because both of them need the help.
Okay.
The ones that need the help also, they need to know that actually God has already blessed them with something that they need to start with. And the ones giving the help need to know that the ones they are helping are also created in God's image. So they deserve to be listened to, they deserve to participate in decision making, they deserve to participate in implementation of whatever program that you want to do with them. In other words, you do with them, not you do for them. The program, the design is, it has 20 lessons. So normally we break it down into two parts, part 1 and part 2. And each part takes about 5 days. So if you want to do it marathon 20 lessons, those are roughly 2 weeks. But recommend doing it in parts so that you do part 1, go implement, reflect, learn, then come back for part 2 at a later time. One of the key things I think is sharing information. As the Bible says, people perish because of a lack of knowledge. So I think through media, this information can be shared about the availability of this rich content, but also we can use the same media to share success stories that can encourage others to know that actually this thing works and we can do it. Because in most cases, I think it's more of fear. But does this thing work? Okay, we've been doing things this way. Now you're telling us to do this way. Does it work? So the issue of mindset shift, if we share success stories through media, the people who have implemented it and have seen mindset change, have seen people develop and able to sustain themselves, have seen the mindset of donors change in the way they want to give their money. I think that's very rich information that can encourage others and also make others be able to participate.
When it is about church partnerships, what is the role of church partnerships? Why do we need church partnerships?
When we are looking at autonomy and accountability, our culture, really, we are looking at our efficacy, efficiency, our effectiveness with what we have, and how we ensure that whatever it is that we have is being used in the way that it's supposed to be used. And we do with resources, not just financial time. When we go out and visit you as our partners, when we are back to the office, or when we attend or represent the organization in a conference or in a workshop, we expect that when you're back, you're able to show us or tell us where you were and what you are doing and how that is useful for us as an organization. When you go out and make a network or a collaboration that is useful for us, we expect that you're able to come and link the organization to that particular resource. Another one that we have is on healthy collaboration, where mainly is on how we communicate with one another, how we relate with each other, how effective has that been.
So we exist in different partnerships and networks. For instance, with ACT Alliance that we sit in, Integral Alliance. Simon, the other one is the ACT Forum, the ACT Alliance Forum. There is a CA Hub, MICA Global. So there are networks of professional organizations working within the development and humanitarian agencies or space that we sit in. So we seek to engage with them in meaningful ways where for instance, sometimes we volunteer our expertise in terms of staff to support needs that are in those consortiums or consortium spaces. So, for instance, we've done some trainings for them on different things on IT or those kinds of resources that we provide to support them as a way of making our engagement meaningful for them. But we also draw benefit for us belonging to those spaces. Sometimes we fundraise together as a group to just leverage on their strengths to become stronger as a unit. But also in our relationships, even in spaces like this, we also try to leverage on technology to make our interactions a bit more friendly, a bit more fun, and more engaging. So sometimes you've experienced it here, and maybe in the course of the days you'll also experience it a bit more with the tools that we use to try and make our engagements a bit more exciting.
For example, our aim right now in programming is we aim to have integrated programming, because out of our learning, we recognize that we cannot have just vertical or silo kind of programming. We say that as we go to our community and we are addressing health needs, we are cognizant of the fact that these health needs may have come because of some economic disempowerment. So we are trying to have our programs as integrated as possible, and that may not have come from the discussion. But at the same time, we have other systems that we have in place that are focused and very fundamental in ensuring that our programming is effective and very, of quality. Monitoring and evaluation, for example, we interact a lot with our partners to ensure how are we collecting information? What is that information telling us? How are we replicating our learning? Who else gets to know about our learning? So, but generally, that's who we are as World Renew Kenya, the respect we have for our partners, because we do not directly work with the communities. We rely on the partner to work with the community, and hence why the partner is such a big investment, for us as an organization, and how we like to interact with the community as we are alleviating poverty, for example, or when we are making a community food secure. We are also keen to know that this community is building structures and systems to be ready, that they may not always rely on us. And that's why we conduct PRAs to equip and empower communities to be able to stand on their own. I would love to end at that point